What's up, ladies and gents? Welcome back to more Assassin's Creed Origins footage. I'm your host, Sinistreano1. So, previously you saw the mission, the Scarab's Sting. This time we're going to be doing it again. But you're going to notice that we're at a different level, and we're going to be tackling this mission, which is going to be at a higher level than what we are. So we're going to be doing it a different way. I'm going to showcasing some different things that you can do, like sabotaging enemy equipment to use it against them to take out big baddies and the such. This is where I'm going to start to dive into how difficult it can be to do certain and specific missions and tasks when you are much lower of a level character than the game kind of wants you to be for that specific mission. So enjoy the cutscene, and I will be back with more commentary once it starts.
I seek the master brewer, Hakuf.
I have no time. Speak to one of my overseers if you must.
You misunderstand. I am a Magi. Apollodorus sent me.
Apollodorus, of course.
He sent me for the Scarab, the shadow that darkens Sais.
Shh, please. That is an evil name to speak aloud. Apollodorus knows the people are suffering. In my position, many confide in me. Trade is strangled, the soldiers run rampant, and the weight of Ptolemy's taxation crushes the breath from us. Come with me. Let us retire where we have a roof overhead. There are many terrible stories about the Scarab. I am sure Apollodorus told you. Tales of mutilation, disappearances, and folk buried in the desert and left to die. A horrendous fate, trapped in the shimmering sand, your mind and body pounded by the remorseless sun, waiting for the final release into the Duat. But these are only stories. There are real villains in Sais. But the Scarab, if he exists, it is not safe to speak of him.
The investigations of Hakuf's agents. Concerns of the people. Sais is no different than Siwa.
The last man who asked questions about the Scarab was near beaten to death, with his tongue cut out.
Who was he?
Orgupa, father-in-law to the most powerful man in the region, Tahaka. That boy, Kawab, is his grandson.
Hey, you tired of winning? I'm looking for your grandfather. Do you know where he went?
No, he left on the road to Campiros. He should have been home by now.
I'll see if I can find him along the road.
I heard another merchant fell.
So now we're going to go ahead and undertake the mission, and you're going to see that how with us at level 13, we're going to be going up against enemies that have level 16. And I'm going to show you that you can still do this pretty much stealthy, but you're going to have to come up with new ways, because you're not going to be able to use the same way that I did this mission previously, which was using poison. And also, I want to make note that you see smoke rising from the bodies. That does not mean that that's actually smoke rising from the bodies. It's an indication to Bayek himself. Just like in the Splinter Cell series where you have Sam Fisher and he has the 3 trifocal goggles and it's a bright green thing that any enemy would be able to see. No, that's actually not in the game. It's just an indication that lets you as the player know where you are. Well, this is an indication that lets you as the player know that this body is poisoned. Now, as you can see, there's a level 17 there. That's 4 level higher than us. So you are not going to be able to easily take out an enemy of that. And even the normal enemies here are much, much harder. And you'll notice how they have different colors above their heads depending on how difficult they're going to be. The red ones are the ones that are really, really tough, and then the ones that just have the regular normal enemy notifications, obviously they're more on our level, so we can take them out pretty easy. Level 15 is 2 levels above us, but it's at a reasonable level above us that it's not too much of a difficult to actually take them out the normal way. We can assassinate them and do the same thing that we did for these 2 enemies that we did in the previous version of this. Now, you might be wondering, how am I replaying this mission again? Well, I did 2 different sessions of playing this game, so I've got a lot more footage than a lot of other people out there because I actually wanted to take the time and make sure that I'm showing not as much gameplay as possible, but variations of that gameplay. So we take these guys out the same way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and see if we can do the same thing. But you're going to notice how the enemies are not going to react the same way because they're not as low, or they're the same actual levels as what they were when we played it earlier. It's just that we're tackling this mission at an earlier time in this playthrough. Therefore, the enemies are not the same. One of them is a 15, one of them is a 16, but that's 3 levels. So taking out this guy, you can't just get behind him and assassinate him. It's a lot different. So this version takes a lot more time to go through. So if you wanted to and you want to finish these missions and you want to get through this game quick, then just get it. As you can see, it only took 56 damage, where last time it took 180. So it's always based off of the level that you're currently at, which is why undertaking these missions at a lower difficulty level is a lot tougher. Now we literally just can't go up behind this guy and knock him out. So you have to think, how are you going to be able to do this? Now, one way you could would be to shoot one of the cages so that the animals come out and start causing a mayhem. Another way is that you can, use things in the environment, like things that can blow up or things that can be set on fire and whatnot. There's always something at your disposal for you to be able to use, so to make the game kind of bend to your will, or to be able to use the mechanics and use the game the way that you see fit. But again, if you want to get through these missions fast, obviously you just go and get into combat and defeat them. I mean, a lot of people are going to say, well, I completed the game in, whatever, so many hours and that kind of thing. And then I'm just like, well, did you rush through? And then what's their defense? Yes, they rushed through. They didn't sit back, enjoy, watch the patterns of the enemies, actually really get into the game and dive into the game so that you could see just how much effort and love was actually put into this. So why don't we see what we can do here and put a little animal into the situation. And you can see that gets both of their attentions. Now, it's not necessarily going to take them both out, but it might take some of their damage away. And let's just watch. Let's see what happens.
Alarm!
Now, we're kind of just letting the environment go on itself. We're not involving ourselves at all right here. But as you can see, situation's already taken care of. They took out the animal rather quickly. Their levels are they're not bad. I'm not really 100% sure what the animal levels are at the game, and if it kind of coincides with the levels that you are. But one thing that I also like about this game is that it tells you where enemies are located if you can't see them on the sides. You see the little white outline that shows up to the left and shows up to the right. That's not saying that an enemy is seeing you. It's saying that an enemy is nearby. It kind of gives you a little bit of perception to tell you, hey, there's an enemy nearby that you have marked, even though it's off screen and you can't see it. So we're still in the situation of what are we going to do? because there's just, obviously we can't go right up to a level 17 baddie and assassinate him. You'll get a stealth prompt, and you'll do a little bit of damage, but it won't be anything near significantly enough to actually take the enemy out. And even doing this, as you can see, yes, we can take half of his health. So one arrow can take about half of his health, but that still leaves a lot of health left for him to alert his buddies, and then us losing our stealth element. And we don't want to lose that stealth element, right? We want to keep the stealth as long as possible. And I just love how there's just so many ways of doing all of these missions. But we can stealth the 15 because he is within our range. And usually it's about 2 up. Now you remember that we took a little bit of damage from the guys earlier with the poison, but it didn't really do significantly that much. So this is, again, this is just me like purposely taking a longer time. I'm not rushing. You saw I was already done with the mission when I showed you earlier, the same mission. This is just me, you know, doing different things, trying different things. I mean, I spent a lot of time on this mission. Even in the last video that you didn't see, I spent a lot of time toying with the enemies, getting them to do, you know, different and fun things to see what I can get away with and what I can't get away with.
Poor bastard collapsed.
Hey! Trouble here!
And people are saying that the AI is a little
Keep an
wonky.
eye out for me.
What's going
Look
on?
at it. This guy doesn't even go up to the body. He sees it, he knows something's wrong, and then they go away.
Something's going on.
Then these guys get close. So it differentiates. It's like it's not always the same. You don't know who's going to be the ones. You can see them coughing a little bit, and even that guy picks the poisoned body up and's taking it somewhere else. And I was just in awe. I was just looking at this. I was like, wow, look at what they're doing. So it's like, how do I tackle all these guys stealthy when you're this low of a level and you're just, you know, you got to use the environments and whatnot. Obviously, another thing you can use are the sleep darts, but I don't really use them here because that's too easy. Obviously, if I wanted to take all these guys out, I would sleep dart them and then boom, you could stealth them easily. But I don't want to do that. I just want to showcase some other, you know, cool and unique things.
Hang on.
Alarm!
Almost saw me there. You can see that it's much more difficult. They can see you a lot easier. So, I decided I'm going to have a little fun. I'm going to sabotage and set a trap here. Now, what happens is, when they yell for alarm, one of them is the alarm guy, and they're going to head towards that, set it on fire, so that other people will come in, reinforcements. So if you can set traps for that. So it's always a good idea that should be the first thing you do, is to set traps. So
Better keep my gun.
you know that if everything goes not according to plan, then you're good to go. But our hidden blade is enough to actually stealth this guy. So even a level 13 can still assassinate a level 16. Now, let me explain why I was able to do this. That is because he was already damaged a little because of the poison. So, a normal 16, I don't think you're going to be able to assassinate, but it all depends on how strong and how much you've upgraded the, and see, he's even more damaged now because he walked into that body. So it's just another way of doing things, okay? Some people might not like this type of gameplay. I really enjoy it. I want to get the most out of this game. I want to spend the most time in it, feel like I'm a part of this world, and that's what I want to show off. Now, everyone at this point, except for the big baddie, has been damaged by poison.
Hey, what? What?
I love how they can see you a lot easier. You got to really, really be careful.
You hear that? Eyes open, brother.
What is it, Phil?
So the poison definitely helped us in taking out these enemies. Now, there's no way you can stealth assassinate this guy because our hidden blade is just not high enough. As you can see, it says stealth attack. So we're going to go ahead and do it. It gets 406 damage. What's going to happen
Lighting the brazier.
is you can hear him, he just said he's lighting the brazier. So he's actually heading to light the trap that we already set. Go ahead, light it. He's fine. There you go. A little up and down for fun. But I just wanted to, you know, showcase some of the different ways that you can manipulate the enemies and use it to your advantage. Weaken them a little bit so that you can, if your hidden blade is not properly crafted enough to be able to take out the specific enemies. And we'll have another video up of the next mission, and that is going to be the one that is going to really showcase how difficult some of these enemies are when you just go straight into combat. I didn't really show any combat here. This was all stealth elements. So the next video is going to showcase the combat and how difficult it can be and how you can die over and over again unless you figure something out in order to be able to handle these enemies. So thanks for watching the video. I will let it go ahead and finish out. Let me know what your thoughts in the game below. A lot of people are enjoying the gameplay and think that it's a much improvement, and there's still some people that are like, oh, the combat feels a little weird, but it's different. But remember, sometimes change can be good. So embrace it. Play it yourself, find out what you like and what you don't like about it, and then let me, come back after you've played the game and let me know, because I want to know your thoughts on this. I want to know what you think and everything. So thanks for watching the video. I'll have plenty more coming up very soon. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.
Hustlers, entrepreneurs, wanderers, seek not your solace here, but let your...
Grandfather, are you all right? Is he hurt?
Banged up, bruised, and thirsty. The soldiers did not take kindly to him, but he will be all right. Where's your father, Kawab? We must speak of this.
Father is away, on his great work. Mother, grandfather is hurt. Soldiers mistook him for a beggar again.
Father, what have you done this time?
He was searching for the Scarab. I hope he can help me. And in return, I can protect your family.
The Scarab is nonsense. Everyone knows this.
He wants you to read them.
It looks like the Scarab is summoning warriors to the city of Letopolis.
By the gods, that is where my husband is.
Or the city swallowed by the desert.
It is Father's destiny to rebuild it. We're going to join him soon. Right, Mother?
Yes. My husband Tahaka has been slaving there for months. I'm sure he can help you. He knows everyone there.
If you go, tell him I can't wait to see him.
Of course I will, Kawab.